What's good, fellas? I'm Roup Reviews, and welcome to my review of Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Now, if you didn't know, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is basically just your typical horror movie plot. You got a group of characters around their teenage years all huddled up into one house when one of them mysteriously dies. Now, at first, the movie just seems very simple, but as it keeps going, you start to unveil a more dark and more complex plot. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies ends with a killer twist that really just left me speechless. So without further ado, let's just hop right into it. Now, to start things off, I thought that Bodies, Bodies, Bodies was just an all-around interesting movie. It was funny when it needed to be, and it was suspenseful when it needed to be, which was definitely a good thing. It was also super cool how the first 3/4 of the movie just felt like a normal slasher film. You had those unfinished plot lines, you had those stupid decisions, and you had those random coincidences that you'd see in like a Friday the 13th movie. This movie was deeper though. You could tell that they wanted to make this into something more, and as the movie progressed, you could tell that there were problems. As the movie reached its close, the dialogue became more unrealistic, and even though the ideas of the story getting deeper were interesting, I believe it was dragged out for way too long. Another good thing about this movie was the characters. The characters were very well done, and I think this was because they were all so different. Each character had their own problems. And even though this is something you usually see in a normal horror movie, where each of the characters have similar problems, it's that plot where every character has something suspicious about them. Now, sometimes this idea for a story can kind of turn out cheesy, but if it's done correctly, like it was done in Murder on the Orient Express or Death on the Nile, a lot of Agatha Christie books, it could really be well done. And I think Bodies, Bodies, Bodies really nailed this plot with their character. And even though I thought the last part of the movie seemed a little unrealistic and maybe a little over the top, I thought the ending was also very well done. Now, even though there was some things that I did not like about the ending, I will say that it was a killer twist, and I really was not expecting it at all. Now we're going to move on to the spoiler section of this video, so if you don't want this movie to be spoiled for you, skip to the time I'm putting up right now. Alright, now that everybody's gone, let's get into the real stuff. Like the real stuff. Now, the ending to this movie was crazy. I really was not expecting for any of that to happen. And now that stupid TikTok song, Bored in the House and I'm in the House Bored, is engraved in my head. I can't get it out. I keep singing it to myself. And while this movie's ending was very funny and very surprising in the moment, I did think it had its problem. One of these problems was it wasn't as serious as other A24 movies. And honestly, I do not know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for A24. I believe that in some cases it is, and in some it isn't. When I watch an A24 movie, I'm usually expecting a serious story with a crazy ending, like Uncut Gems, Hereditary, and Good Time. During all three of those movies, you have so many different themes that are mixed into the story, so many things to think about when you're watching, and then once that ending hits you, it just hits you like a ton of bricks. The music will start to rev up, and as you're watching the ending, the finale unfold, you don't know what to say. The only thing that I could do after watching those three movies, Hereditary, Uncut Gems, and Good Time, was just go back and look at the different themes and think about them. I also understand that Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is a lot more different than those other A24 movies. And while it is good to see a traditional production company trying to change their algorithm a little bit, it did throw in a few surprises. Like I said before, the one thing I really liked about A24 movies was the thought I put in after, just with the themes. I just love thinking about them. And again, while the Bodies, Bodies, Bodies ending was funny in the moment, it just made the entire movie seem kind of thoughtless. There were also so many themes that were jam-packed into the movie, and I just thought it was really sad that I wasn't able to unpack them like I normally do with an A24 movie. The ending of Bodies, Bodies, Bodies just really seemed like the reveal of a ginormous, an hour-and-a-half long punked prank. So in conclusion, I thought that Bodies, Bodies, Bodies was a very fun movie. It was just a normal, average, stereotypical horror movie that really just became something deeper as the story went on. And even though there were flaws to the deep and complex parts to the story, I do think that Bodies, Bodies, Bodies came up with a killer twist that was super surprising and really left my jaw open for quite a while. So honestly, I'm feeling a 6.8 on Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. That is a Roup certified review. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. Like the video. Just do anything that would help. I'm really just. I need subscribers, man. Okay, I'm fine. That was nothing. Just help me out a little bit, guys. Okay, I'll stop. Just subscribe. Okay. No, just subscribe. All right, come on, just subscribe. Just subscribe.